So, welcome to the second class of this chapter. In this class, we will discuss about impure substances, that is mixture and its type. Then we will discuss about the difference between the compounds and mixtures. Then identification of mixtures and compound. This is one of the most important topic. Then some questions and some hot questions. So first is impure substance. In the previous lecture, we discussed about the pure substances, that is, which contains only one kind of atom or molecule. Now, impure substances, they may contain two or more substances, that is, elements and compounds mixed together in any proportion. There is no fixed composition such that they do not undergo any chemical change but retain their individual characteristic. These are the properties of mixture. They have their individual characteristic, they do not go any chemical change, and the resulting product will be known as mixture. For example, when you prepare puri, you mix atta with some salt, some ajwain, some mixtures. These are nothing but a mixture. Example we have, this is element X, this is element Y. We just mix together. This is a mixture of element X and Y. And if we heat it and if they react, element X and Y, if they react with each other, they will form a compound, that is element X and Y compound. Iron and sulfur powder are mixed together, and if you apply magnet, each and every iron fillings will be attracted by the magnet. But if you heat the powder of iron and sulfur, they form iron sulfide. And again, you try the first experiment with it. If you put magnet near to this particular black substances, then the iron will not be attracted by the magnet. So it means the properties of a mixture does not changes, but whenever it forms a compound, these properties changes. Now mixture and its type. Homogeneous mixture. Homo means same, geneous means phase. A mixture in which different constituents are mixed uniformly and we cannot identify compounds with our eyes. In case of NaCl solution or common salt solution, we cannot differentiate between common salt and water. That is, they does not have visible boundary of separation. Solution of common salt, copper sulfate, sugar are the examples of homogeneous mixtures of a liquid which are in the liquid state. Similarly, alloys such as the brass and the bronze are the example of homogeneous solid solution of metal. So from this we can take the definition of alloy. Alloys are nothing but a homogeneous solid solution of metals, and air is a homogeneous mixture of gases. We cannot differentiate that this is oxygen, this is carbon dioxide, this is nitrogen present in the air. We cannot differentiate all the gases of the air with our eyes. So this is a homogeneous mixture. Second one is the heterogeneous mixture, in which we can differentiate between the constituents of a particular mixture. They have a visible boundary. For example, sand and salt, we can differentiate between sand and salt. Iron powder and sulfur powder, before the reaction we can differentiate them. Soil is again a heterogeneous mixture. Now compounds and mixtures. In the previous lecture we discussed about the compounds, how these compounds are different from the mixture, because both contains two different type of elements. But in case of mixtures, a mixture can be separated into its constituent by the physical process like filtration, evaporation, sublimation, distillation, etc. But in case of compounds, these all physical processes are not helpful. We cannot differentiate with the help of these physical processes. It can only be separated by some of the chemical processes. In case of mixture, each and every constituent particle will show its own property. But in case of compound, the individual properties are not there. They show their combined property or the totally a different property from their individual ones. During the mixture formation, no energy is there. That is, heat and light energy, nothing is neither given out nor absorbed. But in the case of compound preparation, there may be a release of energy or maybe absorption of energy for their preparation. In case of mixtures, the composition of mixture is variable and depend upon our own use. The constituents can be present in any proportion by mass. A mixture does not have a definite formula. But in the case of compound, each and every compound has a definite formula and a fixed proportion by mass. अब कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड हर जगह CO2 ही होगा ना, तो ऐसा तो है नहीं कि आपके शहर में कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड के साथ में आपको आयरन भी साथ में फ्री मिल गया. So composition of compound is totally a fixed one. Mixture does not have a fixed melting point and boiling point. Because composition is not fixed, it is a mixture, so it will do not have a fixed point. For example, if you have sulfur and iron mixture, So iron will melt at a very high temperature, but sulfur will start forming gas, or you can say changing its properties. So this do not have any fixed melting and boiling point, but in case of compound, they have a fixed melting and boiling point. Example, water. Water has a fixed boiling point of 100 degree Celsius. So this is the difference between the mixtures and compound. All the 5 points are important. Just pause your video, write down each and every point in your notebook and try to learn. If you have any doubt, you know that you can WhatsApp me. You can write down in the comment section. Now, mixture and compound identification. We have 3 points for these identification, and these 3 points are really important to identify between the mixture and a compound. And these identification questions are mostly asked in your exam, especially in the NTSC and the NSTSC exams. So first, if a substance can be separated into its constituent by physical method, then it is a mixture, not a compound. For example, a mixture of iron and sulfur, we can differentiate it with the help of a magnet. So this is a mixture. But iron sulfide is a compound. We cannot differentiate iron and sulfur with the help of magnet. Second point, if substance shows properties of its constituent property can be shown only by the mixture. But in the case of compound, because formed with the help of a chemical reaction, so the property of the constituent particles are not there. They show a totally different property. Example is water. We all know that hydrogen is very flammable, and for each and every fire, every flaming thing, oxygen is necessary. But when hydrogen and oxygen combine together, they form water, which is used to extinguish fire. So we can say that compounds' properties are totally different from their constituent particles. Third point, if the substance does not have a fixed melting point and boiling point, then it is a mixture. And if it has a fixed melting and boiling point, then it means it is a compound. So these all points are important if you want to differentiate whether the particular substance or whatever you are having is a mixture or a compound. Remember these 3 points, and some questions will be asked later based on these 3 points. Now again, it's a question time. Explain why air is considered as a mixture, not as a compound. So air is a homogeneous mixture of gases because the ratio of each and every gases is totally different in air. Somewhere there is more carbon dioxide, somewhere there is less carbon dioxide. So that's why air is a mixture, not as a compound. And again, for compound formation, all the gases or all the constant particles should react with each other. But in case of air, there is no such reaction. Explain why water is a compound, not as a mixture. I have explained 1,000 times in this video. In case of water, hydrogen and oxygen chemically react to form water. So they have a fixed ratio by mass, that is 1:8 ratio. So they are not a mixture. Now question number 3, classify the following into elements, compounds and mixtures. This is based on the compounds and mixtures identification. I am giving you a hint that I am separating element from this. Tin, silicon, these are the element, and I don't think so. Tin, silicon and silver, they are the element. Now compound is CaCO3, calcium carbonate. Then we have compound. Again CH4, CO2. These all are compounds, and the rest of these are mixtures. Now fourth question, this is important question. It's a multiple choice question. Two chemical substance X and Y combine together to form a product P. Two chemical substance X and Y, both chemical substance combine together. ये combine together होते हैं, they react together and form a product P, which contains both X and Y. और उस P के अंदर X and Y बहुत है, दोनों तो obviously वो दोनों होगा ही होगा. X and Y cannot be broken into simpler substances. Now this statement, X and Y cannot be broken into simpler one. Metals, or you can say elements, are the one which cannot be broken down in the simple ones into simpler substance by simple chemical reaction. So X and Y, this is a chemical reaction. X and Y gives you P. Now which of the following statement concerning X, Y and P are correct? P is a compound. Yes, we all know that P is a compound. X and Y are the compounds? No, because X and Y cannot be you can say broke down into simpler one. X and Y are elements? Yes, correct. P has a fixed composition. Very good. P has a fixed composition. So 1, 3 and 4 are correct. 1, 3 and 4. So option D is your correct answer. Just pause this video. You can say backward it and again repeat each and every line of this question and try to understand the fourth one. Now higher order thinking question. First is, there are three substances X, Y and Z. The substance X does not show or does not have fixed melting point and boiling point and still shows individual properties of its constituent. So it means X is a mixture. The substance Y is a pure substance. So it may be element or a compound which occurs in nature as such. Occurs in nature as such, it means we are talking about element. The substance Y has a fixed melting point and boiling point, but it cannot be broken down into simpler substance. This line cannot be broken down into simpler substance is indicating towards the element. So X is a mixture, Y is element. Then the substance Z is also a pure substance whose properties are entirely different from its constituent. So Z is a compound. So the substance Z can, however, be divided by electrolysis into two substances which belong to the same class of the substance as Y. Now we have analyzed this particular question and we know that X, Y, Z are nothing but X is what? Mixture, Y is element and Z is a compound. So what type of substance could X be? Name any one substance like X is a mixture. Mixture में क्या कह दोगे आप? Soil is a mixture. Air is a mixture. Y क्या है? Y is nothing but element. Sodium, nitrogen, oxygen, these are all element. Substance Z क्या है? Z is compound, that is calcium carbonate, that is water, carbon dioxide. We can name anyone. Name the three groups into which all the substances like Y are divided on the basis of their property. Y is element. So element can be divided as metals, non-metals and metalloids. Next question is for iron powder, sulfur powder are mixed together and divided into two parts A and B. I have explained this whole question in the activity or in the previous slides. When part A was heated strongly over a burner, then a substance C was formed. The part B was, however, not heated at all. So when dilute HCl acid is added to substance C, then a gas D was evolved, and when dilute HCl was added to part B, then gas E was evolved. So this is a little bit tricky question. These last three lines are, you may feel difficult, but we will go step by step. So iron and sulfur powder are mixed together into two parts, are divided into two. They mix together और दो पार्ट में कर दे A and B. So A part को क्या करता है? It will heat. So iron and sulfur when they are heated, they will form iron sulfide. Iron sulfide बना दिया. और जो substance C क्या हो गया? This is nothing but the iron sulfide. अब B part में क्या कहता है? B part में क्या करा इसने? This is not going to react. So B part is a mixture of iron and sulfur. Now when dilute hydrochloric acid was added to substance C, substance C is nothing but iron sulfide. A gas D was evolved, and when dilute HCl was added to part B, then gas E was evolved. Now HCl is reacting with iron sulfide and HCl is reacting with mixture of sulfur and iron. So gas E, whenever a metal reacts with acid, then it will release hydrogen gas. And in the case of hydrochloric acid reacts with iron sulfide, it will release H2S, that is hydrogen sulfide. So in the case C, we have hydrogen sulfide, and case E is nothing but hydrogen gas. So what type of substance B is? B is a mixture and C is a compound. B is a mixture of iron and sulfur and C is nothing but iron sulfide. Name the gas D and E. D is H2S, hydrogen sulfide, and E is only simply hydrogen. Name one characteristic of gas D. Hydrogen sulfide, it has a rotten smell, rotten egg smell. Write one test of identification of E. E is hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas can be identified with the help of pop-up sound. So these all are the answers. You can match mixture of iron and sulfur, very good. Compounds of iron and sulfur, that is iron sulfide, FeS. Then this is hydrogen sulfide, H2S and hydrogen. Then we have smell of rotten eggs, then burns with a pop-up sound. So you can just, if you want analysis part of this question, just pause your video, make it back and then listen to each and every line carefully, and this is your answer. So that's all for today's class. Hope you understand each and everything. Now one thing is left there, homework question. So this is a tricky question based on your pictorial identification, which is one of the, you can say, firmly asked question in your NTSA and STSC exams. So do it as a homework. So that's all for today's class. We will see you in the next one. If you have any doubt, You can contact me through WhatsApp, and this is a topic for the next class. We will discuss about the solution, components of solution, properties and types of solution, some concentration terms along with the numericals, and some MCQs and hot questions. You all know that for any doubt, you can contact this number 9896071540, and I'm again repeating you. I'm going to start Zoom classes for this class 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th, any of the classes. If you want to join, just give me a message on this number. I will give you the time through WhatsApp.